Sis, I know you sick of the bare minimum. You sick of these guys who they don't do nothing, right? They take you on a date to their couch, right, to watch Netflix. They may cook something for you every now and again. They don't put any effort into the relationship. They don't put any effort into seeing you smile, into helping you have a good day. It's like they're just dead weight. It's almost like they're just there. They're just there, and you're sick of it and you're tired of it. And you're like, okay, are all men like this? This is all I keep attracting. Let me tell you, you don't get what you want in life, you get your standards. So the reason why you are getting the bare minimum is directly connected to how you love yourself. You don't love yourself enough. And I know this from personal experience. So I'm going to share with you 3 things today. I'm going to share with you why you're settling, because if you don't know why, if you can't get to the root cause, then you're going to change relationships, you're going to change men, right, or women, whatever the case may be, but you're going to still be in the same predicament. I'm going to share with you the dangers of settling, because there are some dangers to that it can impact the whole quality of your life, okay? And then I'm going to share with you how you can start getting the love and attention that you deserve starting today, okay? So make sure you watch the video all the way through, because all of this is going to be full of gems. And this is coming from lived experience, not just something I read in a book, okay? So like, share, and subscribe. I'm sure the women in your life could benefit from this, especially if they are single or they with somebody that you know ain't bringing much to the table. Reason number 1 that you are settling for the bare minimum, it's because you have some type of wound that you have not addressed. I really recommend that you do your shadow work, because like when I did shadow work, it just was life-changing, because it brought so much that was in my subconscious to the forefront. So I have this book, I got it off of TikTok, the Shadow Work Journal, which I'm sure like everybody has heard of at this point, because TikTok was like pushing it like crazy. But they have you do this exercise, like one of the very first exercises, and it's about wound mapping. And let me read this to you. So the exercise says, identify your inner child wound based on the attributes listed on the next page. Abandonment, guilt, trust, and neglect are the 4 major kinds of inner child wounds. You may find one or more that align with your persona. So after I did this, let me tell you, I'm like, I got a lot of these wounds, right? But the wound that really stood out to me was abandonment. And I'm going to share with you some signs of an abandonment wound. And this directly correlates to why women be settling for the bare minimum in their lives, whether it's relationships, jobs. Like, think about it like this too. When you settle for the bare minimum in your relationship, it's not just your relationship that you're settling for. You're settling for in other aspects of your life too, but I'll get to that momentarily. So some signs of the abandonment wound is that you feel left out. You have a fear of being left. You hate being alone, okay? So you don't even know how to be by yourself. Whenever you are by yourself, you're like, I need somebody there. I need somebody in this space, right? Or you're codependent. You feel like you can't move without this person. Even if you're with somebody and you know they're not doing you no good, but you start to get addicted to them. You start to feel like you need them. So it's not even like a space of love. It's like a space of like addiction, and they are there to make you feel better, to make you feel good. It's not like this, I pour into you, you pour into me. It's like, I need you here so that I can survive, so that I can be whole, right? So this level of codependency. Also, another sign of the abandonment wound is that you normally attract emotionally unavailable people. Oh my goodness. So this is so standard. And I'm saying this from personal experience. Okay, y'all. So, when you do the work, right, when you really do your shadow work and you think about like, what have you been through? And it's not about blaming. It's not about pointing the finger at someone. It's about being honest about the situations that you've gone through and how it has impacted you. A lot of times we don't want to think about our traumas. A lot of times we don't want to think about things that have transpired in our childhood. But a lot of us we may be physically a certain age, biologically a certain age, but psychologically, we are not that age. Psychologically, you may be operating from a 12-year-old space, even though you're a 35-year-old woman, right? And the reason why is because you haven't addressed that trauma. You haven't addressed those inner childhood wounds. And when you think about it, most of our actions take place from the subconscious mind. So 95% of the actions that you take, of your daily habits, of the way you think, of the way you move through your day, the type of people you choose to have in your life, is based on your subconscious programming, which is like running in the background. So shadow work allows you to bring what's in the subconscious to the conscious so that you can heal, so that you are not making choices based on your trauma. Okay, you can make choices from a healed, or from a journey of healing versus a journey of trauma, right? So that is one of the top reasons why you are accepting bare minimum, is because you haven't addressed your inner child wounds. You are trying to get into these relationships because you're trying to correct something. So for example, like I find myself, I've always attracted emotionally unavailable people. They have been unavailable, okay, in some way or another, but mostly emotionally unavailable. And I know that like I'm trying to change things because I come from a 2-parent home, but my dad, you know, he wasn't the most emotionally available person. He was, you know, working, making sure food was on the table, working 2-3 jobs. You know, he had a lot on his plate, and he comes from a family. His mom had a lot of kids, and she didn't have time to be there for him emotionally. So he didn't really know how to show up for me emotionally, right? And I felt that void. And I've always attracted men who were emotionally unavailable. And from doing my research and really digging into why, right, I think we are our own best therapists. Like when I dig into that, it's like you're trying to correct something. So it's like your inner child in you saying, okay, this didn't go right with my dad, but I want to fix it. I want to try to do this story over and it have a happy ending. But we have to realize that that's not going to happen. You have to find that wholeness and that healing within. You're not going to be able to find it in another person, right? And then if there's a couple other wounds, the guilt wound. Okay, so some attributes of that is that you normally attract people who make you feel guilty. You may use guilt to manipulate. You're afraid to set boundaries, right? So that's another indicator, right, that you have this guilt wound, that you are scared to set boundaries. I know for me, I was scared to set boundaries for a long time because I felt like somebody may leave me. Like I didn't feel like I had the audacity to say what I'm not going to allow, right? But as I got more healed and like further on my journey, I realized, yes, set those boundaries because you don't get what you want. Remember, sis, you get your standards. You get what you allow. Another wound is trust, okay? The trust wound. So that is like, you know, you're afraid to be hurt. You don't trust yourself, right? And this is such a big one. You don't trust yourself. Oh my gosh. A lot of us women, we don't trust ourselves. You have to start trusting yourselves. And I think this starts too, it can start from childhood. That's why it's really important to address your childhood wounds and get clear about what has transpired so that you can have more clarity, right? And that clarity can help you make better decisions. Because I know for me, like I always felt like I couldn't trust myself because, you know, maybe I felt a certain way and I was always told I was too sensitive. And I kind of learned indirectly to not trust my feelings, not trust how I see things, right? And that has impacted me in a lot of relationships. I dealt with a lot of verbal abuse. My last relationship ended with my ex-boyfriend putting his hands around my throat. Okay, so it was like me not trusting myself, me not trusting my voice, me not trusting my intuition, right? And then the last wound that's like one of the most popular is the neglect wound. And some attributes of that is that you struggle to let things go. You have a low self-worth. You struggle to say no. Okay, and you repress your emotions. So I really recommend that like either you get the shadow work journal here, or, you know, there's a lot of things online, like free stuff on Google that you could probably look up and just how to do the shadow work. But that is like the number one key to, you know, getting clear as to why you're doing it, why you're allowing this into your life. Because remember, you have to get to the root cause. If you don't get to the root cause, you may dump your boyfriend, you may dump your girlfriend, but the next boyfriend and next girlfriend gonna be doing the same exact stuff. You must change in order for your surroundings to change. You must change in order for the people that enter your life to change. It all starts with you. And so often we want to look to out there. We want to look to, what someone's doing to me, how someone is treating me. But it's what are you allowing? Okay, so point number 2, the dangers of settling for the bare minimum. So when you settle for the bare minimum, you're constantly reminded that you believe that you're not enough. Because if you felt like you were enough, if you felt like you were worthy of what you desire in this life, you would not allow the bare minimum to even enter the front door, right? You would stop it before it even enters your front door, yet alone your body, right? And your space and your home and your heart, right? So one is that you're constantly, it's like the subconscious belief that you are not enough, right? And then you have this physical manifestation in a partner that is reflecting back to you what you believe about yourself. And then that's not only going to impact, your relationship, how you feel about yourself, but it's also going to impact your entire life. So when you're with someone who is not giving you what you need, who is not giving you what you desire, but you're remaining there, you're settling, you're staying in that space, it's going to impact your career. It's going to impact how you perceive yourself and your ability to have the career that you want. It's going to impact your ability to receive the money that you want, the abundance that you want. It's going to impact your ability to show up as to be the mother that you want. It's going to impact, especially if you have a daughter, it's going to impact how she views men. Okay, it's going to impact the type of men that she allows into her life when she gets to that age, okay? Because she is looking at mommy. She is looking at what mommy allows. So it's not only you that you are harming the next generation when they are seeing that, yeah, mommy allows this no good man to do this, to lay up in her space, to do this, to take her money, to do, you know what I mean? Like, they are seeing this. And if you have a son, he's thinking that that's okay, that that's how men operate, that that's how men are supposed to treat their women, that if a woman loves you, she's going to allow certain things. So you have these dangers that are not just affecting you, but it's literally affecting our seeds, right? So it is so important to get clear on, hey, this is the bare minimum. I know I expect more. I know I deserve more. And then also, it just be in your mind all the time. Like, you can't feel good when you have a partner that is not pouring into you. It's like it occupies your mind. It occupies your thought space. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like low vibes, low energy. It literally affects every aspect of your life. And your relationships are like, who you choose to have in your life is one of the biggest decisions that you'll ever make, because who you have in your life directly impacts how far you can go in life. Literally, it's like one of the most important decisions. That's why people who, are successful and who, are living the lives that they have designed for themselves, they have to be very intentional about their partner, because their partner can literally make or break the lives that they have built. I've seen it so many times. Women may look like they have it all together, right? All together. But then they're with this man and you're like, why is she with him? Right? He don't do nothing. He ain't contributed nothing. Why is she with him? And then something happens. Maybe she ends up losing her life because he's jealous and she decides that she wants to leave, and then he's like, no, you ain't going nowhere. But from the jump, he wasn't giving her what she needed, what she deserved. And then it became this ownership, like he felt like he owned her in a way, right? I've seen women who have lost their lives because they were with men who were no good, who were not contributing, and turned them onto drugs. Like, I've seen it. Women have lost their lives, and I've seen so much. And picking your partner is important, okay? So we are not settling for just what we can get. You settle for no one. You settle for nothing. If you know that you can get more, if you know that you deserve more, that's what you do. You don't just let somebody occupy your space. And I know it's cold here. People looking for their winter boo, their cuddle buddy. Cuddle your damn self, okay? Cuddle your damn self, okay? Because it's not worth it. It's not worth giving your body, your attention, your time to someone who is not loving you properly. It's never worth it. And basically, you're saying, this is all I deserve. This is all I'm worthy of. And as long as you believe that, the universe is going to keep sending those same type of situations into your life, because you're like, hey, this is all I can get. This is what I believe I'm worthy of. Point number 3, how to start giving yourself the love and attention that you deserve starting today. Number 1 is to get clear on, what does loving you look like? What does that mean? Like, think about your relationships when you're saying someone's giving me the bare minimum. Maybe they're not taking you on dates, right? Maybe they're not giving you flowers that you like. Maybe they're not catering to or being emotionally available to you, right? Maybe they're not showing up for you in other ways. Get clear on what that looks like, what the bare minimum looks like, and what they're not measuring up at. And start giving yourself that. First of all, you need to get rid of them, okay? Because you just need to get rid of them, okay? You need to be by yourself. Be by yourself so you can start healing, okay? So identify, what does love look like to you, right? And what you've been wanting other people to do for you, start to do it for yourself. Like, for example, maybe you feel like, your partners, they don't take you out. They don't date you. They don't court you. They don't do any of that. They just want to chill and watch Netflix all day, all the time, right? They don't do anything different, anything special. What are you doing for yourself? When was the last time you took yourself out? When was the last time you treated yourself to a movie and got dressed up and took yourself out to dinner? When was the last time you did that? I'm going to tell you, I took myself out to the movies for my birthday, and which was like 2 months ago. And it was so awesome. I hadn't been to the movies by myself in like forever, okay? But it felt so good. I went to go see like an independent movie at an independent movie theater, and I got all dressed up and went out by myself, and it felt so good to just enjoy my company and get back to the things that I like. Some things that I've been doing is like, I love music, right? I've gotten away from just listening to music. So I had like a jam session last night by myself for like 2 hours with the candle lit. I was jamming. I was playing my Adele. I was playing my Sade. Like, I was getting it in, girl. And it felt good to just pour into myself, to give myself what I need, to enjoy my own company. You have to learn how to enjoy your own company. Because when you don't enjoy your own company, then you're pressed for somebody to be in your space, and then they're not bringing with them what you need, and you're settling, and then you're like, ugh, and then you're frustrated, and then you feel bad, and you're like, man, like, is this all there is, right? But give yourself what you need. Give yourself what you need. Enjoy being with you. Because if you don't enjoy your own company, how is someone else going to enjoy your company? And the type of man that you want, he is going to want a woman who knows how to be with herself. Because if you want to meet a man that's healthy, that's emotionally available, you need to be doing the same thing. You need to be able to match his vibe, right? So 1, what does love look like? What does those things look like to you? And give it to yourself. Number 2 is do the shadow work. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I'm going to highlight it in case you forgot. Okay, do your shadow work. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. It's not something that you're going to like figure out in a day or a week. It's going to take time. But it is well worth the time. It's well worth the investment of your time. Because if you don't, you're going to keep repeating patterns that are not healthy. So 1 is to just, what does love look like to you? Give that to yourself. 2, do the shadow work. And then 3, I would say, like, take responsibility. Take responsibility that whatever you allow into your life is based on your standards. So get clear on what your standards are. Write new standards. For example, maybe a standard is, I need someone in my life who is disciplined. I need someone in my life who is a disciplined man, who is disciplined, who has a vision, who has, drive, whatever the case may be, right? Getting clear on what are their standards. Someone who's healthy, someone who's fit, right? Right. What are the standards? What are you only going to allow in your life? If you meet someone and they're like, yeah, man, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out this life. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, on to the next. he is not meeting my standard, right? If you meet someone and, you know, they are severely, you know, overweight and you know they're not working out and it's time, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to McDonald's, like, you know, like, oh, next, like, they're not meeting your standard. It's not about being bougie. It's not about, you know, thinking you better than somebody else. If people be thinking you think you're better, then no, it's not about being better. It's about, hey, these are my standards and I'm not allowing any less. And then meet your own standards. So if you want someone that's fit and healthy, what are you doing to be fit and healthy? If you want someone that's disciplined with their time, how are you being disciplined with your time? If you want someone that is financially secure, right? What are you doing to build your own financial security? Right? You have to become the vibrational match for what it is that you want. And one way to get clear on that is to literally write out your standards and then become them. Okay, so just a recap. Okay, so why are you settling? It's because you gotta do that shadow work. Okay, boo-boo. Do the shadow work. Take the time, do that, okay? That's why you settling. Shadow work. You need to do shadow work. The dangers of settling. A lot of dangers, but one that I really want to highlight is that it can really affect the future generation because they are looking, they are watching. They are looking to see what mommy is doing, how mommy is dating, what mommy allows, okay? And even if they don't technically see it, they pick up on stuff. You may not have a man around your kids, but they hear the conversations, okay? They feel mommy's energy, okay? They ain't crazy. Okay, so remember, you are literally setting in line how your children are going to handle relationships. They are literally looking at you as the blueprint. So, and they see mommy crying, frustrated because, you know, her boyfriend didn't show up or her boyfriend lying or her boyfriend doing it, like, or they hear you talking to your girlfriends. Like, the kids are not crazy, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? And then lastly, you know, how can you start loving yourself and giving yourself the attention that you need today is one, get clear on what does love look like to you. Get clear on what it is. Do your healing work, do your shadow work. And if you need support, work with a therapist, work with a coach. You know, do it in a group of girlfriends who are wanting to, you know, do better in their lives when it comes to their relationships, right? But do your shadow work, okay? It is non-negotiable if you want something different in your life. It's just non-negotiable. Okay, and then also write out your standards. Write out your standards and then become them. You cannot expect someone to have something and you do not have it. You just cannot. You cannot expect someone to be financially secure, be disciplined, do all this stuff, and you're still trying to figure out your life. Like, you need to have clarity, okay? Like, we matching vibes here. We are matching vibes here, okay? So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you got something valuable out of it. And, you know, share, like, and subscribe to the channel because, remember, you are a creator, okay? And this is about creating the life that you want. This channel is all about recreating yourself, creating the life that you want, creating the you that you want to be, up-leveling your mindset, up-leveling you in all ways. And one of the most important things that you can do to create the life that you want is to be mindful about the people that you allow into your space. You have to protect your space. You have to protect your inner world, and you need to protect your physical environment, like your safe haven. You have to protect that. Okay, so thank you for spending time with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments down below. I want to know what you think about this video. Okay, like, let a sister know. All right, y'all. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.